All right, so this morning we're exploring the causes, symptoms, and treatment of tonsillitis with general practitioner Dr. Alice Buckland. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Thank you, Neville.
So I told you before that I took mine out when I lived in another community. But where are they? Or is it they? Or is two of them? Or you can just call it one?
Well, most people have two. So one is here and one is here. And you open the mouth and you see it on each side, the tonsils. And they are part of our defense force.
Which means what?
It's part of the lymphatic system. So it's going to clean bacteria and viruses from the system. You can hold it like a jail cell. If the jail cell gets too full of the criminals, then it will shout for help, because that's when it gets really swollen. And then whoever has it feels this sense of discomfort and either does their own home remedies, but if it's not clear within a certain time, like 2 days or so, you need to get back up, go find your doctor.
I was asking you before if you need it, or need them, I should say.
So people can live without them, okay? So it's not essential for life. However, it is useful to have them, because they are, as you mentioned, a filter, and they will be helping the system to fight infections.
Yep. Many, many years ago, I lost my butt, and I can't remember the reason. I know it was swollen.
You lost your what?
No, I said I lost them.
Oh, you lost them both, yes.
Yeah, I can't remember the reason, but I can remember it being really sore. What would cause something like that? You said infection, bacteria. What would cause that?
All right, so the infections will go through the mouth and the nose. So there's a time, like when we have flu season, you see people coughing and so on. That's why it's very important that people cover their cough, do this, or they can even put their nose and whatever into their clothes. And hand washing. Those are very important prevention strategies. And if somebody is sick at work, they really should excuse themselves till they get a bit better. So it is infection into the area, coughing, droplet infections, and the people breathe it in through the mouth and the nose. And then if they cough in your space, you breathe it in, and then your system, your defense force, your tonsils will try to trap the infection. So you feel discomfort here, but some people actually get a lot of swelling and pain and fever, and they don't feel well. They just feel, just under the weather. They can't swallow, drooling. Some, especially children, may get tummy ache and very cranky.
Why would you get a tummy ache from a...
You're swallowing germs.
Okay.
You're swallowing germs, and so children can get a tummy ache. So sometimes the children may not even say have a sore throat. They just have, my belly hurts.
Okay.
And they want to just check them out.
You said swelling. And again, they're on both sides. So
yes.
Can't that be dangerous? Can't that block the airway?
Right. So the swelling, so remember that the airway is right here.
Right.
And so when these tonsils get quite swollen and they get so massive, they can obstruct the airway. So if somebody notices, and you may notice that because you find I have difficulty breathing. Person may be snoring even louder. So just go and get assistance, or if you're taking care of a kid, just get assistance for your child.
When does it get to the point that you would say, no, we have to remove these?
All right, when you find that, so let me just back up a bit. We're looking at some children. Children tend to get it quite a bit. You're going to find that kids under age 5 tend to get viruses. And that those viruses tend to run the course. And then kids between 5 to 15 tend to get bacteria. And so it's very important to watch how you are feeling. So if it is that it's obstructing your breathing, it's obstructing your hydration, your nutrition, you just feel totally unwell. Remember, these things can cause complications. These things can go to the other tissues to cause an abscess. They can go to the kidney. They can just go over the entire system. So it's very important that persons, after 2 days, most people, if it's not getting better, go and get some assistance from the doctor. There's some things that people can do initially. They can gargle. So you can have salt and water gargles. Some people use honey and vinegar, like a tablespoon of honey, a tablespoon of vinegar, mix it in a cup of warm water and drink that. So what they're doing is literally washing the area. Just think you have germs in the area, you just want to gargle and decrease the germ population. Yeah. It's very important. And so just keep drinking a lot of fluid. Very important for hydration, but decreasing the population of germs. And if you're really not getting better, go and seek some assistance.
Yeah. I remember clearly that when I did the operation, they gave me a gum that had aspirin in it. And I can remember it, as far as I can remember, it was pretty easy. I never had a whole lot of pain.
Right. So the lozenges can help and the aspirin can help. No aspirin in kids though. Right. No aspirin in kids. Why? Because aspirin is linked to a condition called Reye syndrome that can cause the child to die. Wow. So it's very important that use other methods for the discomfort, like your acetaminophen.
By the way, no aspirin in kids, period, or you're just talking about tonsillitis?
No aspirin. We don't recommend aspirin in children.
For whatever reason?
Period.
Well, yeah. How old are we talking about before it wouldn't affect them?
We're looking at people up to about age 15 or so.
So before that, you shouldn't give out that?
No aspirin.
I never know
that. You always hear the Ministry of Health said, no aspirin. You listen to the Ministry of Health, they say no aspirin. And it's very important also, immunize the children.
I know about the immunization, but I've never heard anyone say that you shouldn't give a child aspirin because it might kill them. That's the first time hearing that.
Yeah, it's going to cause, literature is abound with information, it causes problems. Oh. Because everybody loves their children. Most people love their children, don't they?
Yeah, I think most people do. So the lozenges could help, but ensure you don't give them.
Yes, the lozenges will help. And then, it's associated with maybe runny nose. Some people, especially the viruses, may have runny nose. You may have a clear nasal discharge. It tends to be viral. But when you see it getting more yellowy and so on, you want to check if there's bacteria.
A sore throat doesn't necessarily mean that you have bad tonsils.
Right. A sore throat does not mean that you have bad tonsils.
So how do I know the difference if I get it really sore and I'm feeling pain down here?
Sometimes they're associated. Sometimes you can have a sore throat plus a tonsil issue. So when you look in the throat, you see that, and you can feel the glands are swollen. You feel it, it hurts. Yeah. However, the sore throat, the whole of the area is red. Feels grainy, it doesn't feel right. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. All right. How prevalent is tonsillitis in Jamaica?
So tonsillitis is prevalent, especially in kids, 15 and under.
Is there a specific reason for that, or is it just because they're young and them running up and down?
Mixing up together. Yeah. Yeah, mix the germs, share the germs in the schools, nurseries, daycare centers, school systems.
And how
parents want to send the children to school whether they have sickness or not. Yeah.
And how often would that kind of prevalence end up in surgery?
Not very often. The prevalence for a very bad tonsil infection, so the tonsil has to be very swollen. It's like recurrent. It's like every month there is something happening with the person. There's obstructed breathing. The person isn't doing well. Then there's this conversation between the patient or the patient's parents or guardian and the surgeon. And the surgeon will have to give the reasons why he recommends this, and then you have to. Person will think about it and then decide what they want to do.
As a lay person, finally, can I just look in the mirror and realize that my tonsils are swollen? I can just open my mouth and say, wait, why?
Of course, because your body talks to you, right? Yeah. So you don't have to look in the mirror. You feel it, you open your mouth, you go, and you see, you can shine a light in, but you feel it, it's on each side. I say, oh, this doesn't feel right. Okay. Try the gargle. So you can even vinegar gargle, a tablespoon of vinegar to maybe some water and gargle. And then, as I mentioned, the honey and water. Honey is like a natural antibiotic. So you can have a tablespoon of honey, tablespoon of vinegar, cup of warm water, and drink. Okay. And that helps. But if what you're doing is not working, or if you're in charge of children, do not play with children. They can go down really quickly. They can go down really quickly after, even if in the same day the child is not looking well, or the child has a very high fever. Don't joke with the child, get assistance.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Good to meet you. General Practitioner, Dr. Aldis Buckland. That's it for 10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am.